What's going on, Reject Nation? Greg and John here today. We are going to watch the Shang-Chi trailer, Rise Up. Got a lot of people messaging me saying there's some pretty sweet new looks in here. It's only about a minute long, but very excited for this. Comes out on my birthday, so best bet we're going to be watching. Actually, we're supposed to be watching it Monday. Tell you a little bit more about that after the reaction. Anyway, let's get into it.
I know that you don't like to talk about your life, but a guy with a freaking machete for an arm
Oh.
Who are you?
My birthday. Let's see this.
You got this.
Yeah. You got some close-up shots there.
Oh yeah.
Woo. Whoa.
Shang-Chi.
Shang.
That's for all of us white people out there.
Cool. Cool. Solid trailer, solid little tease. Been loving all the little glimpses that we're getting. We are supposed to be going to the premiere of Shang-Chi this coming Monday. I'm very, it's a Marvel premiere. I don't know, like, with the way how the pandemic is still going on and everything, how different this would be from all the other Marvel premieres. I imagine it wouldn't be as packed. That's just my guess. And it would be the first Marvel premiere we were actually attending. We've been invited to like some premieres for things before. I'll be frank, I'm not the biggest fan of premieres. I've been to a few. As ungrateful as that might sound, I'm like, it's so glossy and I'm always a little bit uncomfortable. Like, just to be totally honest, I get like social anxiety and everything. Shang-Chi, when the first trailer came out, it really did hit me with a unique feeling that I often hear with like other races, whether it be Black, Latino, if you see like a character in a big movie, your own heritage being represented. Now, I'm not Chinese, but I'm Asian. I did not anticipate that I would be filled with that feeling of seeing like, wow, that's an Asian guy starring in a Marvel film. Like, this is nuts. To me, it's exciting. To me, I'm very much endeared to that fact. I weirdly have like some personal association to it. So I was like, yeah, I gotta go to the Marvel premiere. Like, just gotta go. We'll still be honest. We'll still do our, review after the movie is done. Hopefully find a spot that's not too loud where we can shoot our review, our just watch review. We'll be honest about what our opinions are of the film itself. But already, like, just on a personal note, on a very personal note, to see Asian representation in the form of a MCU film, I'm very much excited for that. I'm very much championing for it, and I'm glad to see how even these little promos are still getting so many views. Yeah, John, what'd you think of the trailer?
I couldn't connect to it at all. There's nobody white, and I don't see myself.
Razor Fist is white.
He is, and he's terrible representation. He's a villain.
From John Walker to him, this is not right what they're doing to white people.
That's right. We can't deviate for one film. But no, I thought this was a really fun trailer. I mean, obviously honing in a little bit more on the Marvel humor. Awkwafina definitely seems like she's going to be our cipher for this, but also then amping up some of the action. Like, I really got some Skyfall vibes looking at that one fight on the scaffolding, and then further on, like, some of the more fantastical stuff. Like, I really hope that element of the movie feels epic in scope and construction, because Marvel, obviously, like, you see things taking place in like a city or something like that, or even the like fighting ring, like, that's very familiar territory I know Marvel can nail. But I would love to see some of these more like ancient looking battles take on that sort of Lord of the Rings style scope, where you can tell they threw down on some sets and stuff like that, and it's not just all a big CG animation. Just getting me that much more excited to finally go and see, because it does too. I mean, like, even though I am not at all Asian, I can definitely sort of feel the sort of energy surrounding this movie and people's anticipation. And I'm really excited to see just a different different cultural earmark and a different movie film style, you know, seep further into the MCU. So hell yeah, man.
One thing that I am craving a little bit more from these trailers is more of the emotional weight to it all. As I'm thinking about like when Black Panther was being promoted and how that is kind of like similar marketing to me, you know, like you're a very specific type of culture you're representing there, and then at the same time it was like, you know, the rap music, it's a lot of fun, it's really cool, but then you watch the movie and there's actually a lot more dramatic heft to it than was actually presented in the trailers, I personally thought. And then here it's like, yeah, we were seeing a lot more of the humor, obviously, when you're showing Awkwafina, like you said, being the cipher to ask all the questions so Shang-Chi can explain everything to her, so that way we're being told what the world is and what's going on and what its backstory is. I mean, yeah, she looks really funny, but I am kind of I'm hoping that this movie is more than just lighthearted entertainment. I anticipate that they'll give a shit to actually throw down on some really good dramatic weighty scenes. Like the first trailer gave me a little bit more of that than kind of the little teases that we've been getting so far. I think the big concern that is on people's minds right now, will this movie get delayed? I don't think it will get delayed. In fact, I think there's a lot riding on this movie to do well. This is the first big Disney release that is not dual release at all or only on Disney Plus, anything of that nature. It's strictly going to be for the theaters. Now, we already got more delays that have already occurred for other films. There's rumors about other movies that we are very much looking forward to that might get delayed. I think a lot is riding on Shang-Chi right now to really be that movie to determine how the box office can truly be. This is a huge summer film. This is a Marvel movie. So if it can perform up to the standards closer to what it was like pre-pandemic, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to do what it would have done if we weren't in a pandemic. If it can like really destroy the box office, if it can really do a great job, I think we'll be a little bit more secure in some releases that are expected to come out, because if not, then I expect that we'll probably get more delays for other films, especially factoring in what the second weekend will be like, because I imagine opening weekend for this film is gonna be huge. It'll probably outperform Black Widow. It'll be massive. I think the real telltale sign will actually be in the form of the second weekend. There's always a dip, there's always a drop, but if it's less than all the other movies that have come out, I think that's a good determining factor here. So a lot is riding on this movie right now, because we got Shang-Chi, we got Venom 2, we got Eternals, we got Spider-Man No Way Home, just to name a few big movies. I think Bond is already delayed, so we'll see how this all turns out in the end. I'm hoping that this does well. I mean, Simu Liu, while Canadian, he's also Chinese. Sometimes it's a weird conversation with Marvel and China, you know, and
got a lot of rules for showing movies over there.
And I think this movie is, while there's like magic on display here, I think this movie is being released in China. I'd be surprised if it isn't.
Yeah.
Maybe with the fact that you have Chinese actors in here, your lead being of Chinese descent, perhaps this could do really well in China, and that often is a huge indicator for films as well. You know, we'll see how this all turns out. Well, and I do like the soundtrack associated with here. But guys, what'd you think about the trailer? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe, hit that like button, click that notification bell. Hey, let's do a
Andrew Hayes, I'm throwing you into the tournament, because who's got 10 key rings? You do, because you're a master locksmith, my friend. Think of all the ways in which you could be a badass fighter with a key theme to yourself. Plus, you could get even more out of your 10 rings by attaching stuff to them, attaching even more rings to each ring. So why stop at 10? You could have 30 or 100 rings if you wanted to. But Andrew, either way, I hope you're doing well. I miss your face, but I see it every now and again on Instagram. Your hair has grown out. You're looking suave these days. You look kind of like a mafia guy, but like on the weekends, because you never wear suits or anything like that. You always look like pretty chillaxed, but in your eyes, I can see that you're willing to do some unforgivable things, and that's the X factor in a world like this, man. So keep it up, keep being you, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully, maybe someday even hang out again in person. How cool would that be?
That would be awesome.